In our latest video, we will be discussing how to deal with the tough stuff, the challenges, obstacles, and difficult decisions that inevitably arise in any leadership position. Whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting out, we all have to face tough situations at some point, and it can be overwhelming. But with the right mindset and strategies, you can learn to handle the tough stuff with grace and resilience. Staying power managers learn to confront personnel issues head-on, but being prepared is necessary. Consider whether you immediately correct misunderstandings or ignore them. Frequently, the qualities of great and effective managers that we remember are their ability to connect with others, control their own and others' emotions, make decisions that are fair, and take into account the impact on others. Use the ABC model, or antecedents, behavior, and consequences, to determine the reasons behind a person's actions. What preceded a problematic behavior is called an antecedent. A person's behavior is what they do. The outcomes of one's actions are known as consequences. The majority of actions have multiple causes and effects. Once your employees know what makes them act the way they do, you can help them change their ways. Most of the time, people change their behavior for a reason. For instance, a hard worker who suddenly starts to fall behind could be having problems at home. Avoiding the difficult conversations does not make the situation go away, and avoidance can mean that the situation becomes blown out of proportion, the author asserts. Although both terms are frequently misunderstood, most managers are aware that both punishment and reinforcement alter employee behavior. Punishment is used to decrease or eliminate a behavior's frequency, whereas reinforcement is used to increase the occurrence of a behavior. Positive or negative reinforcement and punishment can occur. Positive reinforcement, for instance, provides an incentive. An incentive is lost when negative reinforcement is used. Failure becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when we are discouraged because we simply do not do the things that make a difference. Managers are responsible for selecting which of these strategies to employ, even though they are all designed to boost a desired behavior. When it comes to motivating top performance, the best ratio is 90% punishment to 90% reinforcement. Irregular, surprising support inspires best. Therefore, anticipated holiday bonuses are not effective motivators. To change behavior, punishment needs to be predictable and consistent, applied immediately, every time and for as long as it takes. Achieving clarity, your communication style can cause misunderstandings. Instead of being direct, many managers tend to avoid problems. Get clear in your correspondence, get clear in your purpose and cut to the chase. Distinguish personal traits from behaviors and actions. Time and again we feel like we need to add more to our message, thought or technique so it tends to be clarified to other people. Stripping back your message to the center is more significant. When an employee needs to change a behavior pattern by doing more or less of a behavior or doing it differently, managers should provide specific feedback. For instance, Bernice's manager gave her a mostly positive performance review, but he said that she should be more methodical. Bernice misunderstood the term methodical to mean organized. She kept track of her activities in a journal and made to-do lists. Her boss was upset when he saw one of her recent press releases because it wasn't in line with the company's style guide. He never said that his definition of methodical meant adhering to established procedures. When you say to an employee that they did a good job, you should explain why the work was good. The desired behavior is bolstered by this. Don'ts are useless. Try saying, "Please be at work on time, for a 9 a.m. start," rather than, "Do not come in late for work." Keep your message brief and simple to comprehend. Problems with nonverbal communication arise when your body language does not match your words. Ensure that both verbal and nonverbal communication are consistent. Michael Grinder, a specialist in nonverbal communication, made more than 6,000 individual classroom observations of teachers' nonverbal communications, which included their hand gestures and body language. He found that holding your hands face up and gesturing in arrangement convey that you're agreeable. With these positions, your voice is bound to have a higher expression. With your hands down, head still, you signal validity. Your voice will be lower in this pattern, and you may pause or take a deep breath. It can be challenging for women to project credibility because they typically speak with their hands raised. Men, on the other hand, may struggle to convey approachability. They may not be able to express what they feel through language, so they refuse to budge when people are acting stubbornly. People use 4 distinct nonverbal communication points, primarily based on where they direct their eyes. How well you send and receive verbal communication is affected by each combination. With eyes looking down and into personal space, one-point communication occurs. It is best for contemplation. The stress hormone cortisol rises as a result of increased heart rate, dilated pupils, higher temperatures, and direct eye contact. Turning your eyes up and out, or up and behind, which indicates something taking place in the distant future, is known as four-point communication. Tending to outrage. The capacity to appreciate anyone on a profound level isolates incredible directors from fair ones, as per creator Daniel Goleman. The effects of anger on the brain are discussed in his bestseller Emotional Intelligence. The brain's prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logical thought and language, is overridden by the brain's older, more primitive amygdala. Emotions frequently arise in challenging circumstances. Allow employees to take responsibility for their feelings. Even when anger or sadness is present, it is wrong to avoid emotional conversations. Our internal drive to defend, in this case, defending what we know and the way things are, is the other innate barrier to change. Keep your cool. Speak in a low voice, stop the conversation right away, and use three-point communication to help calm an angry employee. Consider your safety first and seek assistance if the situation becomes critical. You might be moved by an employee's sadness and tears, but your discomfort might also come from how you responded to someone else's tears. Resistant, defensive, and stubborn behavior. The majority of managers are unsure of how to respond to resistance, defensiveness, or reluctance. Different kinds of resistance can manifest themselves. Resistance is most common when a company is confronted with a significant change, such as a downsizing or restructuring. Employees can dig in their heels, reduce their efforts, and use resistant language, such as, "Yes, that sounds good, but..." Respond to opposition by ensuring that individuals are heard. Give them a chance to vent their frustrations. So, what is the most common and possibly the best positive reinforcement that mammals have discovered? You've got it. Yes, praise. Employee defensiveness can be sparked by a lack of job security because defensive behavior frequently stems from fear, such as fear of the unknown, fear of an uncertain future, or fear of having no options. Leaders who exude confidence can allay fears that cause people to act defensive, resistant, or obstinate. Discuss the plans the company has for the future and your expectations for it. Gratitude inspires others to have confidence in you. Give commendation or consolation. To calm stubbornness, communicate with 3 points of contact. Handling emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation can lead to provocative situations in the workplace that can harm staff morale, employee engagement, productivity, and customer satisfaction. Damaged survivors, also known as malicious emotional manipulators, typically lack awareness of their actions and are focused on themselves. They are not malicious in their emotional manipulations. They might have been abused or traumatized as children. People will persevere at a task despite obstacles if they are praised not only for the outcome but also for the effort they have put into it. People who are evil emotional manipulators behave psychopathically. Harmed survivors feel responsibility and regret and can change, however insane people can't. These snakes in suits are usually driven by their own goals and have no morals. A mental health professional can only make a psychopathy diagnosis. However, the following are some typical defining characteristics of psychopaths. They don't admit their mistakes, but they hope for mercy and forgiveness. Their feelings don't match what is going on, for example, chuckling at misfortune. They won't take responsibility for what they did. Even though they delegate, they still take credit. They lie, but they always tell the truth so they can later deny it. They are charismatic, cocky, risk-takers, and power-hungry. The idea that our job and financial situation are not as secure as we thought they were more than anything sparks our drive to defend. Administrators can't change insane people or change their way of behaving. Disengaging and establishing firm personal and professional boundaries will be your tactics instead. From malicious emotional manipulators, never anticipate normalcy. Bullying in the workplace can also take the form of manipulative or difficult behavior. Utilize the following coping strategies when dealing with a bully who is not psychopathic. Recognize that the bully's motivations have nothing to do with you. With bullies, be positive. Give them opportunities for development. Be assured. If required, collaborate with a coach. Many people have a strong sense of who they are at work. Their work is closely related to who they are as individuals. Emotional manipulation is a possibility for managers who strive to be liked or popular. Be friendly to your staff, but keep the lines of communication clear. Lay out clear lines. Restructures, redundancies, dismissals. As people deal with uncertainty and disorder, changes in the workplace frequently lead to difficult discussions. One thing these disruptions have in common is transition. Your mindset is important when things are changing. Positive people are able to successfully transition, adapt to change, and take time to unwind. Tears do not indicate weakness, they demonstrate humanity. Terminations cause a boss's most troublesome discussions. Keep your focus, speak with sincerity, and properly prepare. Aid those who are being fired in maintaining their self-esteem. Getting a good night's sleep, practicing the conversation with a coworker, and centering yourself before the conversation are all examples of preparation. Gloss over nothing. Regarding the what, when, and how, be truthful. Give the employees who were let go time to think about their options for the future. Employees may become irritated or enraged. They might try to get you to change your mind. Keep focused. Recognize the impact that a job loss has on one's identity, self-esteem, and income. Immediate crisis, how you show up, deal with the aftermath, and prepare for future crises are all aspects of crisis management. Positive mentality is helpful. Consider turmoil to be a chance, not a setback. Don't waste time and energy worrying. For instance, if you aren't meeting your sales goals and your division might close. Accept the situation with dignity if you can't change it and try to make the transition easier. It is important to understand the context of someone's behavior and will lead to greater success in your ability to influence that behavior, says the author. A growth mindset will be more helpful than a fixed mindset when you try to solve problems or deal with a crisis. If you think you can change and improve your skills, you have a growth mindset. The instinctual flight or fight response can result from a fixed mindset, such as the belief that talent is innate and improvement is impossible. Life is too short to ever be living by others' self-restricting convictions. When dealing with the aftermath of a crisis, be sensitive to your feelings and examine what you've learned. Be compassionate. Publicly acknowledge that whatever anyone feels is normal when assisting employees in crisis management. Instead of forcing them to ignore their feelings, assist them in accepting what happened. Despite the desire to forget about a crisis and move on, ignoring it can result in a reliving of the trauma. Find something positive to take away from the experience. Restructuring, for instance, has the potential to make you more effective and force you to reevaluate your policies. Know what you have control over and what you can't. After that, act. Even though you can't foresee a crisis, you can prepare for one by practicing more effective responses and adopting a growth-oriented mindset. Think about how you would react in a crisis, before, during, and after. Thank you for watching Dealing with the Tough Stuff on the Success Face YouTube channel. We hope that the strategies and techniques discussed in this video will be helpful as you navigate difficult situations and challenges in your personal and professional life. Remember that it's okay to ask for help and to take care of yourself during tough times. Stay strong and keep leading by example. We'll see you in the next video.